Hey everyone, Erica of Confident Parenting. I'm coming at you with some more newborn sleep tips. If this is your first video, be sure to go back and look for the previous ones. We've talked about the startle reflex, swaddling, tips for making it easier to put your baby down, tips for increasing longer stretches of sleep, and how to help your baby start to learn the difference between night and day and have that internal clock start to kick in that will eventually help sleep feel more organized. Today, what I wanted to talk about is another really common complaint or question that I get from the newborn families that I work with, and that is my baby is really noisy and restless in their sleep. Does it mean that they're just not getting enough or they're not getting the right kind? So that's understandable that you would think that if baby's noisy, moving around a lot, maybe the quality of their sleep is being compromised. But it's really important to know that newborn sleep, the architecture of newborn sleep is very different from adult sleep. So there's a couple of things that are different. One, their cycles are a lot shorter than ours, which unfortunately means that we may hear from them more often. That doesn't mean they're not getting the cycles and the stretches that they need. It just means maybe that what they need doesn't look like what you thought it was going to be or what your own sleep looks like. Another thing that's different is babies don't spend as much time in deep sleep as we do. They don't get into it as often. They don't stay down in deep sleep as often. And that's really for a couple of reasons I won't go into today, but just know that it's really normal. So if baby's not going to be in deep sleep that often, that means they're going to spend more time in the levels of sleep where we tend to see things like movement and sounds and where we tend to rouse fairly easily. So you just want to be aware that that's the case so that you're not worried about quality. And you also want to be aware of that so that you don't get into a habit of what I call over intervening. Yes, you want to tend to your baby when they need you. No, you don't want to, hold them off or make them cry when they are brand new. So I'm certainly not suggesting that you ignore your baby in the middle of the night, but I would get in the habit of what I call stop, look, and listen. It's very easy to just respond to a sound that you hear and assume that baby needs you to pick them up, feed them, whatever, in the middle of the night. But in reality, what you may be hearing is just your baby moving from one sleep cycle to the next, where they wake up a little bit, kind of breathe, and go right into the next sleep cycle. So it is okay, and probably a habit you want to get into, to stop, look, and listen. Let's also imagine you've just been woken up in the middle of the night, right? So you may not really be thinking it all through. So try to get yourself in the habit of just pause. Let's survey the situation. Let's see, is my baby actually awake? Do they seem like they actually need something? If your baby can get in the habit of waking up a little bit and then moving into the next sleep cycle, that's a really great way that we can set them up for healthier sleep habits in the future and avoid having to undo habits that we've created along the way. I don't believe that you can create bad habits with your newborn, but there will become a time in the near future where habits become more important. So anything you can do now to make the future easier is helpful. So don't be worried about the quality of your newborn sleep. It may not be what you expected. It may not look like yours, but they are designed to sleep a certain way because they are so brand new. And as they get older with time and development, their sleep patterns will mature. And we have lots of tips for you to survive in the meantime. Be sure to follow me for more tips coming up. If you would like access to information like this on a daily basis, be sure to check out our new parent support package. It's a collaboration between myself and Mainline Family Education. Basically, you get access to me and my colleague Nicole, who's a former labor and delivery nurse. So you can get all your newborn care questions answered, all your newborn sleep questions answered. It's as close as you can get to having the two of us come home with you from the time your baby arrives through the first 2 months of life. So we'd love to get to know you and your little one and find out how we can help. And I'll be sharing more tips with you along the way. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.